Hello, everyone. My name is Gus.
Hi, I'm Woody.
What? You don't know your name?
Is it Zeus?
That's Zeus, yeah.
For a second.
What? So I told you we were reacting to a video titled The Top 10 Scary Deep Sea Diver Stories That Will Haunt You. And you just showed up with that.
This haunts me. Look at it. Can you see it? That's my boy, Zeus.
Zeus, yeah.
And he'll haunt you. I mean,
Well,
I'm just saying, I like him, but look at,
okay.
So I want to be scary.
So for this video, we both actually have the same amount of information, which is the name of the video. That's it. I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. But it's another one of those top 10 videos that are typically made by people that have never seemed, not only not diving, they seem like they've never been in the ocean or a beach anywhere. Like, that's, if maybe we'll have like an amazing diver that is full of knowledge, but I'm not holding on to a lot of hope on this one.
I'm going to be open-minded and think that I'm going to be haunted.
You see, that's an insult. You're saying
Not
that I'm not open-minded.
No,
That's
no,
not
no.
right.
No, you have at times opened your mind.
Okay.
That's a compliment.
All
I've
right,
seen you. I remember a month ago. It was amazing.
A month ago.
We had a lunch, and you were incredibly open-minded.
How? What happened?
You said, you know what? Instead of 2 chicken sandwiches, you're right. I'm going to try the chicken sandwich and the Whopper. I'm going to open my mind. And I was like, that's cool. I appreciate you being...
Wow. Okay. I don't know why you brought that up. But let's go ahead and check out the top 10 scary deep sea stories. Deep sea diver stories that will haunt you. Look at this one. I've seen this one. It's a shark swimming and the guy's like pointing the thing at it.
Well, that would be not...
From the oddly funny to the darkest it can get, diver or not, today is a reminder to take smart risks and that no one is safe from accidents.
Well, I would buckle her.
My name is Rachel Fisher. Welcome back.
That haunts me because her thing wasn't buckled
we're covering our list of
on her
top
dive
10
gear.
Scary deep diver
Rachel,
stories that will haunt you and that they will.
I'm hoping.
I mean, if you want to back that up, that may haunt me a little because that crotch strappy thing on the neoprene, that needs to be buckled.
Yeah.
That's a little
I think she was wearing a free diving wetsuit to go diving.
That just
anyway.
that scared me.
Rachel, please. I trust that you're gonna know what you're talking about. Let's watch.
Indeed. So let's get going. Number 10, One Dumb Diver. This first story is from Reddit user One Dumb Diver, and boy does he live up to his name. His first mistake was heading out for a 90-foot dive alone, but he was just 15 years old and thought, how bad could it be? He needed to clear his head, so he headed out on his family's boat to the reef. While floating down at 90 feet, second mistake, he was only rated for 60. He saw a 3.5 meter mako shark. Mako sharks, according to the diver, only have 2 speeds.
That's exciting,
Curious
right?
and lunch mode. Guess which mode this guy was in.
Wait. Now, you see,
All right.
I thought
We're
she was
starting
going to
with
start off with, this guy had an awesome dive. He saw a mako shark.
By the way, hold on. Take a second to brace yourself because we're about to get pummeled on the comments with links to videos of people getting bitten by sharks.
That's fine.
So as soon as you say sharks don't attack divers,
I'm not going to say sharks don't attack
shark
divers.
Scientists just...
I know, yeah. I can dangle bloody things and there can be accidental. But I've dove with mako sharks, and there's all I see is
They're
immediately
torpedoes.
Gone. So I don't know what she means. She's in lunch mode.
Yeah.
Lunch mode for us? I don't know. Look, so far
lunch or attack mode. Like those are the only 2 modes.
She's cool, by the way. There, I like her.
I like Rachel, but come on.
Divers now use electronic pulses to freak out sharks, but he was using the older method of a chainmail sleeve. They bite the metal, they think, gross, swim away.
Wearing a chainmail?
But mistake number 3.
Okay.
He forgot the sleeve on his bed at home. Shark bit down, there was now an open, gashing wound in the water, and salt was burning his flesh.
I'd have to ask
Mistake
somebody
number 4,
about that if
he
that
had
happens.
drifted a quarter-mile downstream from his boat. Luckily, he made it to shore, and 172 stitches, physical therapy to repair his tricep, and some crazy scars later,
15-year-old Mary.
this deep-sea diver never made the same mistakes ever again.
I mean, if that really happened, I wonder why the shark bit. I mean, it may have. I'm not questioning that. That's unusual. I'd want to
Very,
ask a Christina
very
Zanato, like, if a
unusual.
shark's going by and I just held out my arm, forget that I don't even have a metal sleeve on it. Would he just come by, take a little bite, and move on? I think that's.
Why would you? I don't.
Let's say I went like this. I'm diving next to a shark. Is the shark going to just come up and bite my arm?
Probably not.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be like,
what's the difference
you
if
look
I'm
dumb.
holding up? I'm asking sort of questions to prove a point.
Yeah.
Let's say there's a shark that's swimming by, like in Florida when we swim around a school of bull sharks. Forget that you're not holding your arm like this. You're just holding your arm. You're just alive.
Your arms are
You're
just
diving.
attached to your torso.
My
yeah.
body has arms.
That's right.
Any of yours ever been attacked
Never.
while swimming by schools?
Wait.
I don't.
No. Never.
I just don't. There's more to that story. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, after I get pummeled, I know I'm getting pummeled on this
they're-
one.
they're- right
Yeah,
now,
this
they're
one, you're
dropping-
being a jerk, Woody.
Dropping
I
comments
just,
below with
I've
links.
never seen this stuff. I've done a lot of dives.
Dude,
in
we've
my
been
life.
next to bull sharks, which are considered to be the most deadly, dangerous sharks in the world. We've been like the size of refrigerators in Florida, like a couple meters from them, like a few feet, and we're like, this is the coolest
So
thing.
Anyway,
yeah.
all right, go ahead, beat me up. I get it.
All right, here we go.
From the outside. Okay, this one is scary and funny at the same time.
Oh,
and
I like that.
yes, it also involves sharks. Sometimes fear of the thing itself makes you do some pretty weird things to avoid it, which eventually makes the worst thing happen. Reddit user NZ Viking Rugger has to wear eye contacts, which makes wearing a mask even more of a necessity. The idea of going without them surpassed any other fears, even as a shark headed straight for her. While on a dive, a friend behind her had collided with a shark and her mask was knocked off. She couldn't stop thinking about the fact that her mask was knocked off, that even as a shark headed straight for her, she was more afraid of that. Usually sharks are more curious than anything, and usually
Right.
they just shoulder bump you as they turn at the last minute. But
Exactly.
this one
I
wasn't.
wish they would.
She was beelining for Viking.
They
she
never-
kept calm though, and at the last second the shark was about to
Awesome.
knock her mask, the diver just headbutted the shark in the nose. She may be the only person to ever headbutt a 11-foot shark because she was afraid she might lose her mask. And she's alive, so good for her.
See, nothing
Number
happened. There you
8,
go.
Food poisoning. I can't think of a worse time to get food poisoning than like
That
scuba
would haunt
diving.
me.
Actually, I probably can. There's probably something worse, like I don't know, in front of like your crush or something like that. But
okay, let's talk about this for a second. Do you have any like rituals or whatever that you like to do, like for breakfast, like before diving? Like, is there any
Coffee.
specifically that
Which
you?
you shouldn't
but
have.
coffee
You
is
shouldn't
before
have
everything.
caffeine. It's bad. But
Yeah.
I tend to wake up with coffee.
Yeah, you don't function without coffee.
I don't think so. I don't think I do have a
Is
ritual.
there anything special? Like you're like, oh, I love pancakes before.
I don't have that.
You love pancakes all the time. Nothing
With
special
maple
about
syrup?
That. Yeah.
That would be. I could now adopt that as a ritual, just by the thought of with butter.
I
on
think
top.
it's been an unofficial ritual
I'm
because every
happy.
time we go diving, I see you do that.
Well, yeah.
So I
it's
thought it was
maple syrup and butter.
Yeah. You
Maple
douse it.
syrup's natural. Butter's not.
Oh, it's all healthy.
In
It's
a
all
way.
healthy.
In a way.
Yeah, vegan. No, I don't. I think when you're gonna go out on boats, what I typically tell people is try to stay away from acidic stuff like orange juice and stuff like that. That can hit you, especially if you didn't take Dramamine and stuff. Anything like that, it's gonna hit you.
Yeah.
So I try to stay away from it, especially
I
because
think-
orange
I think
orange juice is sugar water.
And I think at times
face.
I do take a non-drowsy Dramamine. I've never been seasick before. I've just, it's luck. It's nothing to do with anything else. I think I just don't get seasick. But I'm so paranoid because I've seen people seasick.
Yeah.
I've popped a non-drowsy Dramamine before.
By the way, those things are not effective. They say it's all BS. The non-drowsy stuff. You have to take full strength, full lead Dramamine. That's what I do. Like I go to almost
really?
asleep on the dive. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
It's the only thing that works, apparently. The non-drowsy
right.
is all marketing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. By the way, if Dramamine wants to sponsor the channel, I'll say super effective.
I can tell you that if people that I know that have taken Dramamine, drowsy or non-drowsy, before their dives, typically don't get sick.
Who knew?
Shocker.
This one is definitely up there. Reddit user someguy12 recounts the moment he had to deal with seeing yesterday's lunch on a deep sea dive. He was 14, a relatively new diver, and just hit 20 meters below the surface with his dad and brother.
Deep sea.
About 45 minutes out, a foreboding churning began in his stomach. Ooh. And, well, he started to upchuck into the water. The worst part is that the fish surrounding him thought it was lunchtime.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
And they were like, "Wow, look, sandwiches." No one was within arm's reach, so he had to keep clearing his regulator, puke, and then repeat until he was like, all clear.
Yeah.
No one noticed, and he just kept on with the rest of the dive. I am as horrified as I am impressed with his perseverance.
That's
but
not
like, dude,
haunting.
go over to the service.
That's just
That's
life.
enough.
Well, it's not scary and it's not haunting, but she's accurate. Like, that's what you do. I mean, the guy probably felt way better. And
we do get this question once in a while, right? Like, what happens if you have to throw up? You throw up.
And if I happen to see it and I had my camera there, boy, is that going to be some good
if
footage.
you throw up and did not warn me so I can start filming, I'll be pissed.
I mean, that's quality footage.
7, shark rescue. Being a rescue diver means you often have to put yourself at risk in order to recover people who got themselves into trouble. Keith Baugh is a rescue diver in the Bahamas, and he was on a mission to find a missing diver. He was submerged in the infamous blue hole in the Bahamas and finally caught a flash of the diver's watch on his arm.
Blue hole in the Bahamas?
He started
Yes,
swimming
beautiful.
to the
I thought it was in
bottom and
Belize.
began to notice that
Another
the
one.
bottom was moving. An entire school of sharks were swimming right
What
over
is
the
it with
bottom.
sharks?
It was breeding season, and there were so many sharks he couldn't see the bottom.
Look at that.
He found the
Galapagos.
diver.
Oh, that's Galapagos, by the way. I
Yeah.
can tell you right now, I've been in this exact spot where you are surrounded by
Thousands.
They're called Galapagos hammerheads. It's just a species of the hammerhead. And there really are this many. I never seen this many anywhere else. So I think this may be Galapagos.
But they're totally harmless. Hammerheads in general. Like, I don't ever think I remember an attack from a hammerhead ever recorded. Maybe
well,
there's
now
one.
somebody's going to find one. But
Actually, because they always start with that. That's the sign of
Prove
I'm an
them
expert.
wrong.
I'm an expert. I'm about to teach you something.
well, I think that most of the divers out there, they're just better than us.
Obviously.
And as quick as he could, began swimming up to the surface. Thing with diving, though, is if you rise too quickly, you could get something called the bends, aka decompression sickness.
she's
The
right.
shark started following him, and when he reached 70 feet, he had to take a break to adjust, and therefore spent 8 minutes surrounded by a school of sharks with a dead body in one hand. Like, how he got out of there without turning into shark food is pretty astounding. Number
No, it's not.
6,
But he did get it
shipwrecked.
out, and
Tom
no shock.
Pritchard had over 1,000 dives under his belt. Was known for being incredibly detail-oriented and cautious. Nothing should have gone wrong.
Look at this guy.
But of
He's
course,
32 in
something
that
did.
picture.
Just what remains a mystery. Pritchard was working on attaching a mooring line to the Andrea Doria. The Andrea Doria is a
dude.
shipwreck
Infamous.
300 miles outside of New York. When the line was
Infamous.
attached, the other crew members explored the wreck before rising 75 minutes later. But where was Pritchard? The Coast Guard swept the area, but no one was found, and in the end, the captain ordered the crew not to return to look for him. After all, they had no idea how he disappeared, so going back down there could be even more dangerous. They could lose more people. The Doria has always been considered dangerous and has claimed
Because it's
15
on
lives
side.
previously.
So
As the years go
cold.
on,
And
the
deep.
wreckage continues to get less and less stable. But
Yeah.
whether Pritchard was trapped by the ship or died due to equipment failure, no one will ever know, and it just is... No one will ever know.
I remember
Number
that one.
5, Snake
bad.
Island. The problem with deep diving is that if there is a problem, you can't just rush up to the surface or you might literally explode internally. Decompression sickness. So staying calm is paramount, but it's not always enough. 3 divers decided to take on a 180-meter dive in Snake Wall in the Georgia Strait.
really
One of the
deep.
men stayed in the shallower area while the other 2 decided to dive as deep as they could. While they were down there, something happened. Something went wrong, and while the second diver almost made it to the surface, he too perished as well. They were experienced divers. They wouldn't have been able to go in there if they weren't. So just exactly what happened to the 2 at the bottom still remains a mystery, because it could have been as simple as an equipment failure, but there's no proof. Number 4, they checked no. There is a reason why high-risk activity...
Why was that last one called Snake Island? There wasn't a single snake in the whole incident.
That's what I thought she was going to get to, was that it's super scary to dive with sea snakes.
Yeah.
Which are some of the most passive, marine life in the world.
Absolutely.
Which I've had the experience to dive with.
Yeah.
And they literally swim in and out, and you feel them touching your fins.
Yeah.
They don't care. And
They don't care.
They're,
And
so passive.
They're highly venomous too, right?
They're venomous.
But I heard that their teeth are so tiny they can't even go through a wet through a glove.
There's thoughts of that.
Yeah.
But
they don't bite anyway.
you gotta like.
But I thought she was talking about Snake Island in Brazil. Have you heard of this thing? It's Snake Island in Brazil.
I think so.
It's illegal to go to the island. There's so many snakes.
Yeah, I've
there.
heard that. I've seen that.
And like, dude, I hate snakes. I watch the videos about Snake Island, and they send the army guys, which I assume is the guys that they hate, like whatever the command, or it's like, all right, you guys, today's the Snake Island trip, which I'm not sure why you even go there. Like, don't even go. Why go to Snake Island? Just let the snakes eat themselves and whatever. But these people go, and they just start with like a machete, walking through Snake Island. It's like a snake every 3 feet or something. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, I assume that's what people feel when they watch cave diving videos, because I'm like, oh, okay, I can't watch it. This is dumb. But anyway, that's what I thought. I'm like, they went diving at Snake Island. That would be pretty crazy.
These require you to sign and fill in a waiver or consent form. They ask about your health because you or someone else could be put at risk because of it. This one diver decided to check no on the form when it asked if they had epilepsy. Flash forward to a seizure attack in a pitch black cavern 85 feet below the water. In this story submitted by Reddit user Sharkbite, they noticed one of the diver's lights weren't moving. After heading over to see what was wrong, they noticed that the diver had no regulator in their mouth, which is the breathing apparatus, and their eyes were completely checked out and their teeth were clenched together. They forcibly purged the air into their mouth with the regulator, which moved their cheeks enough to indicate air was going in. That was good enough for them. The rescue diver then grabbed their arm and swam up straight 60 feet to get them to surface, risking the bends. Once to the shore, the rest of the team helped get their gear off, and though in shock, the diver recovered like nothing happened. Thankfully, they were only 10 minutes into the dive, otherwise they would have both ended up sick. The rescue diver was put at risk, shooting up to the surface to save them both, and said they would do it again if need be. And I mean, I would too, but like, boy, would I be pissed. Hopefully, this person didn't discover that they have epilepsy below the water. That could be a thing too. But if they knew and didn't say, someone's gonna get a stern talking to.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's right. I will agree with her though that. Whoops. I will agree with her that there have been incidences where people have lied on a medical
All the time.
and that's if it's a serious thing, that's bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you are putting yourself and others at risk. That's her point.
For sure.
So I
But
agree. I agree
thing
with her.
the thing with the medical forms for diving is that you have to have a doctor sign off on it if you answer yes to, I mean, there's like, I don't know,
Anything.
what would you say, like 30 questions or something? If you answer yes to any of those, except for like COVID. If you had
Or
COVID,
age, I think now they don't make you say.
yeah. But for most of them, you have to get a doctor's signature. And some of them are like, I don't know, like you're taking high blood pressure medication. Okay, your doctor has to sign off on it. It's like, so for some people, saying, no, I'm not taking medication, it's easier than saying yes, and now you can't dive because there's no doctor to sign you off. Right, so it happens often. But the other thing that I wanted to mention, and this is just adding clarity, all right? She said they were in an 85-foot dive for 10 minutes, and that they went straight to the surface, risking the bends. At 85 feet, what do you think the NDL is? So it's 60 minutes at 60 feet. I always remember that. So at 85 should be like 40 minutes, something like that, 40-something minutes. I don't have a table with me.
I don't even know if they were at 85 feet. I think
That's
it
what
was
she
actually
said.
shallower than that. I don't remember.
She said it was 85. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could run it really fast, but
Yeah, but let's say it's 40 minutes, okay, just to say a number.
and you're
Or 30.
probably on
Doesn't matter.
nitro. Yeah. So after 10 minutes,
Yeah,
you
10
don't
minutes.
have to stop.
Right. So what causes the bends is the intake of nitrogen to the point that when you go up, the bubbles can expand and get logged into your brain or your spine or somewhere else, causing paralysis or death and all these bad things that we talked about. But in order for that to happen, you have to have enough nitrogen in your blood for the bends to actually be a big risk. After 10 minutes at 85 feet or 60 feet or whatever they were, the risk is very minimal. Now, does that mean that you're cool to just hit the inflator button, skyrocket to the surface after 10 minutes of diving? Of course not. That is dangerous to do it. But it's not that, wow, that was a life or death decision they just made going to the surface after 10 minutes. It wasn't that risky. But I'm glad they went, because if you have a seizure, like, I don't know, would you even try to put the regulator back in their mouth? I'm just taking them to the surface.
If they spit out and they're in the seizure,
right?
Most people say to wait for the seizure to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'm underwater, and if the seizure's continuing for more than probably a minute or two,
right,
at some point I'm going to try to bring them up. You know, I'm not
Or
going to
else
sit
they're
there.
gonna
Well,
die
they've
on the
been in
water.
the seizure for 5 minutes. They're dead, right?
Right.
Can't hold your breath they're not breathing it during a seizure, and the regulator's not in their mouth.
Right.
So it's a judgment call. I would try to help them, and I would go to the surface if I had only been at 85 feet for 10 minutes. But
yeah,
that doesn't mean you have to, and that doesn't mean that there's no risk that you won't get bent. That's
right.
why we add a safety stop.
That's right.
But I think her point is, yeah, don't lie over something that major on a medical. I think
seizures underwater.
I think she's doing actually a very good job on this video. Like, she's saying the right things. I'm not scared or haunted.
No.
But good points.
Even the most experienced divers can encounter deadly complications on dives. And to this day, no one knows what brought Agnes Maloka down. Agnes was a stunt diver who had a fierce desire for underwater exploration. By age 29, she'd been featured in multiple documentaries and even acted in the movie Sanctum. But while on a dive in the tank caves in Australia, even her expert navigational skills were no match for the sinkholes, caves, and silt. Somehow she became separated from her diving buddy, and silt from the cave walls disrupted her vision. If you breathed too hard, the air bubbles would pop and disturb the ceiling, and it would come crashing down. The following day, they found her body 500 meters from the entrance of the cave. Evidence suggests that she remained calm until her last breath, but no one knows what the exact reason was for her struggle. It could have been she ran out of air. Anything could have happened, but either way, she lost her life.
Yeah, she, from what I remember about what happened to her, she went through a restriction that only her can fit through. Like, it's one of those super tight ones, and she went no mount. And I think she left one tank outside the restriction and only went in with one tank. It was that small. Like, you couldn't fit two tanks together. Only one tank and her body, right?
It's really small.
And then once she made it to the other side, she had an issue and she ran out of air.
She ran out of air.
Yeah, I mean, she drowned.
Number 2, PLURA Caves. Norway's PLURA Caves used to be a spot where experienced divers would test their mettle, but ever since this incident, they have been closed indefinitely. In February 2014, several divers prepared to make the long trek to the other side of the cave, but 135 meters down, they lost 2 of their members. One member, Jari, got stuck halfway in a narrow passage, which caused immediate panic. That far down, that's a very dangerous thing. Fellow diver Patrick handed him an extra cylinder to prevent hypercapnia, which is excessive CO2 in the bloodstream. So like hyperventilating, but Jari panicked while switching and he drowned right in front of Patrick's eyes. Can't imagine that. Patrick did everything he could to stay calm and had to keep moving. But behind them, divers Kai and another man named Jari were due for a shock. Jari saw the body of Jari and panicked even though Kai tried to help him, and sadly Jari succumbed to the same fate.
Deep.
With the passage now fully blocked, Kai had to trek 11 hours back the same way he came all the way to the start. 2 months later, Patrick and Kai went back secretly to recover their friends, in which they succeeded, but no one else is allowed in those caves ever since then.
That's not true. Those caves are open.
I think they were closed, though, because I do think
they were closed for a while.
I think they did have to kind of sneak in to get that body. I kind of remember a story about this.
They were closed for a while, yeah. And on the Diving into the Unknown documentary, they detailed this very well, and they went back and got their bodies out, which was great. But no, the caves are open. Like the dive right people went last year, and it was like an open invite. Like if you paid, you can go and dive it. And more recently, Jonathan Bird and Todd, which we dove with, they invited us to go to Orta and dive these caves. And it was like 31-degree water, right? Like -2 Celsius. It was something stupid like that. It was the coldest thing ever. And we said no. We said, I'm doing something. What day was? Oh, yeah, no, I'm busy.
Oh, yeah, I'll be that. It's 88 at the bottom in South Florida. Darn it. I
can't do it.
Have to do the 88 degrees.
So they went by themselves and almost died of cold, But they dove it. So it's open. It's an open cave. It was closed for a while, but it's open.
Okay, well, here comes the number 1 of the top 10 scary deep sea diver stories that will haunt in all
Can't
caps
sleep
you.
tonight. Can't sleep
Because
tonight.
am I haunted?
Ooh.
Number 1, DEON DREYER. And last but not least, the tale of DEON DREYER.
Very familiar.
If this
Dave
story
Shaw.
doesn't haunt you, I don't know what will. DEON passed away in 1994 when his body was lost 270 meters in Bushman's Hole, South Africa. For 10 years, his body remained there, but extreme diver David Shaw decided it was time to bring him home. But the dive went nowhere near as expected. With Shaw's experience in situations like this, there wasn't a doubt in anyone's mind he'd be okay. Shaw assembled a team and made the descent 270 meters down to find Dreyer. But when Shaw tried to put the body in a body bag, the skeleton started floating due to the wetsuit Dreyer still wore. At those depths, any panic or disorientation could be deadly, and indeed it was for Shaw. As he wrestled with the body and began his ascent, his light got snagged and he panicked because he already overexerted himself. Dave eventually passed out, and before long, Bushman's Hole claimed his life as well. But almost poetically, the two bodies floated up to the surface together. Shaw made sure he fulfilled his mission even with his last breath.
I think that the
So-
last one really speaks to his heroism.
Yeah,
I don't
he's a
know,
hero.
not haunting. I mean, he was really trying to do a good thing, bring that body back to
Yeah.
the family. So
Which he ran into the body when he was setting the world record for deepest rebreather dive. He ran into the body. They had told him, hey, by the way, in this hole that you're setting up your world record 10 years ago or whatever it was, somebody died and they never found the body. You may run into him. So they kind of warned him. And when he made it to the bottom, he ran into the body. So he knew it was there. So he went back to get it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't exactly, obviously, as she described. He didn't get snagged on the way up. He actually passed out while he was still wrestling with the entanglement. There's a whole video about this. He filmed his own death. And you actually reacted to this.
let's show him the second reaction.
And then went
So
back.
we got it accurate because I messed
went
up
back
a lot.
and added a lot of facts to
Yeah.
it. So in case you haven't seen that video, if you're interested in learning more about Dave Shaw, which again we consider a hero for, putting himself last basing, and he told people if something happened to me, don't come get me. Like there's a lot of information that we missed on the first reaction, and that's why the second one is gonna be right here. Check it out, Dave Shaw. Awesome.
I mean, I'm still more haunted by
Way more.
This is way more haunted
Way worse.
by everybody.
We love Sus though.
Awesome.